It was just another ordinary afternoon in downtown Toronto, where the city buzzed with energy and the streets carried a blend of stories, some loud, some hidden in silence. Amelia, a soft-spoken young woman in her mid-20s, had just finished her shift at the local cafe. She was tired, her apron stained with coffee splashes, and her hair loosely tied. All she wanted was to get to the daycare on time and pick up her little boy, Noah. As she stepped onto the sidewalk, the summer sun warmed her cheeks, but the warmth quickly faded when a group of young men lounging near the building began whispering, then laughing. At first, she kept walking, pretending not to hear. She was used to it. The crude remarks, the long stares. She had learned to tune them out ever since she became a single mom. But this time, one of them took it further. Loud enough for people nearby to hear. He said something so filthy, so vile, that Amelia stopped in her tracks. Her fingers trembled as they gripped her tote bag, but she didn't turn around. She couldn't. Not because she was weak, but because she was tired of always having to defend her dignity alone. Across the street, Liam had just stepped out of a small hardware store with his daughter, Lily, clinging to his hand. He saw Amelia, the girl he had spoken to once or twice at the cafe, freeze. He saw her shoulders stiffen. He didn't hear the words, but he knew that kind of body language. He had a sister once. She used to flinch the same way before their stepfather got arrested. Liam's jaw clenched. And then he heard it, the second insult. The tone left no room for doubt. His little girl looked up at him, confused. "Daddy, why is that lady sad?" He didn't answer her. He simply handed her the small shopping bag and said gently, "Stay right here, sweetheart. Don't move." Without thinking, without hesitating, Liam crossed the street with a calm rage. The kind that builds up over years of witnessing injustice and staying quiet because you didn't want trouble. He wasn't a violent man, but there was a limit to silence. And they had just crossed it. The men noticed him, smirking. One of them threw a sarcastic, "You her boyfriend?" or something, and that was the last thing he said with all his teeth intact. Liam didn't say a word. The first punch landed clean on the mouth of the loudest one. The second, a swift jab, cracked against the ribs of the one who'd been laughing the hardest. The third tried to run, but Liam grabbed him by the collar and shoved him against the wall, speaking low and fierce. "She's a human being, a mother, and next time you open your mouth, pray it's not near someone like me." By the time someone pulled out a phone and shouted for security, Liam had stepped back. He turned around, breathing hard, his knuckles red. Amelia was still standing there, her eyes wide with a mixture of shock and gratitude. He walked up to her, calmer now, his daughter running toward him. "I'm sorry," he said. "You didn't deserve that. No woman does." Amelia tried to speak, but her voice cracked. "No one's ever stood up for me like that." Liam gave a small smile. "You shouldn't have to fight every battle alone." There was a pause, the kind that hangs between two people who understand each other without needing many words. Later that day, the incident made the rounds on social media. Someone had recorded Liam's confrontation and posted it with the caption, "Real men protect." He didn't just talk, he acted. Most of the internet cheered him on, though a few criticized the violence. But those who watched carefully saw the truth in Amelia's face, the relief, the respect, the healing that began in that moment. In the days that followed, Amelia and Liam began talking more. They would meet after daycare pickup, letting their kids play in the park while they shared stories of how life had broken them in different ways. Liam spoke of losing his sister to depression, and Amelia talked about raising a child with no help from the man who promised her the world and left without a goodbye. Through those conversations, something grew, not rushed, not desperate, just honest, kind, and real. A quiet connection formed on the foundation of respect. Liam never saw Amelia as someone broken, and Amelia never saw Liam as just her hero. He was a father, a listener, and a man who led with heart, not just fists. One evening, as they sat watching the kids chase each other under a setting sun, Amelia looked at him and said softly, "Thank you for not being silent." Liam looked at her and answered just as gently, "Thank you for letting me matter." The story didn't end with a fairy tale kiss or a dramatic declaration. It ended with two people finding peace in each other's presence. It ended with the reminder that sometimes standing up isn't about violence. It's about choosing to no longer look away. And sometimes, the strongest love stories begin with someone refusing to stay silent when it matters most. That day, Liam didn't just break noses. He broke a cycle of fear, of silence, of looking the other way. And for Amelia, that meant everything.